Howdy, 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 and welcome back to another video on the computer series. So what I did here, I'm just going to show you something real quick, because I know you guys don't want to take the time. I'll have to wait through all the stuff I'm doing. Just attached everything to one board, and I just did it a copy. Everything we originally did still over there, and we're still going to go work on it. But just to make a markup, and then I scooted it into the place that I was going to want it, for example, right? And then I used some blocks, and I just made a markup on here, a template if you will, where we're going to need to have holes in the motherboard, or not in the motherboard, in the case. So like that. So maybe pause the video while you do the same, for you don't have to wait through me lining them all up. And when you get back, we'll just continue with this pool. I missed one. Right. Again, I just didn't want to make you guys wait through it. When you're done, just confirm it fits in there. Something like that. Oh, just a hair back, it looks like. You might have to mess around with it a little bit. Something like that anyways. Looks pretty good, I'd say. Well, maybe a hair more in that way. Like that. Okay. And then we have our plugin sticking out the back, so looks like we're a little bit too far. Just a hair that way. There we go. Alright, so just for you kind of figure that out and you don't go too far and get yourself in trouble, because we still need to fit a power supply and hook everything up. We'll do it over here on our markup, and then when we're done, we'll make a full piece and we'll bring it over here or import everything, depending how we want to do that. What I'm just going to do is, last time we were here, we made a couple plugs, the reverse ends of the plugs basically. So I'm just going to take one of those, Shift D, bring it out here, and we're going to take this one, this one, this one, and that one, and move it on over. And they should be all on the same axis, because they're all made from the same pieces, so it should be easy enough. It just might be a little easier to make our markups here. Looks like things might have got a little off track. But you get the idea. So this would be, well, I must have missed that one. I'm supposed to be having one here, but I do not see it. They didn't come off with the bool, but let's just scoot over there. Steal one, Shift D, and then as long as we keep it on the axis, we just need to line it up once it's on the motherboard. It may have moved a little side to side and up and down, but that should be the right. Yeah, that should be fine. Looks like it's like about there. Alright, when you're in position, pop it in. Sorry about that. Must have missed that one somehow. Alright, now to find all my other little connections. Let's see what we done with them, huh? That other one that I had. There it is. Alright. So let me move it in a little bit. Something like that. Anywho, get the idea. We'll just quickly try to pop those in position. We're going to get set up to start making the power wires, which is going to be a huge thing. But we'll get set up for it, and then we'll do that probably in its own video. Because it's not going to be easy. But I just wanted to get the case ready, things like that, where we're actually ready to go. Anyways, it doesn't have to be exact, but you get the idea. Okay, this one, we can move them together probably. Let's just move them out a little bit there. And down a little bit. Okay. Pretty good. And then we're all set up for the power. The power is going to be a little bit of a struggle because we're going to have to find a spot to put it. I think we're going to have to put it up here or move all this stuff up. And choice is up to you, really. But there's not a whole lot of room. Well, I guess we can move it over. Let's do that. Actually, grab your motherboard. If you're in the same position as me and you got it all marked up like this. We're also going to want to make a few motherboards. We can also separate this one. Oops. That's weird. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to easily grab those. I guess we're going to have to just do it that way anyways. Issues when you put things together like this, I guess. So just drag it over like this. Something like that. Then we will grab all of these with L. Make sure you got them all. And we will do our very best to put them back together, I suppose. Should be easy enough. We just got to center them over those, basically. Missed one. Missed a few. Apparently those are all separate pieces that were put together, so they're going to be a little harder to move. Make sure you got everything. If you grab it and you move it and they all don't move together, just right click to cancel. And I think we're okay at the CPU, so we'll probably just stay here. And you think you got them perfect, as long as they look good, both sides, then you're good. Okay, so now we got a little more room down here. Maybe it make more sense for the power to be here instead of up there. And we don't have to build some kind of mount to hold it in. We just need to build a power box. So let's get started on that. Maybe we'll I don't know if we should start with wires or the box itself. I'll start with the box itself. And shrink her down. Something like that. That might be a little big, but it's a good start. Might be a little small. Shoot. Go back. Go back until this doesn't exist. I did this in edit mode. If you did the same thing, just go back until it doesn't exist. It's going to cause you problems. Make sure you're not in edit mode. Shift A. Sorry. I will switch to this view real quick. Just get it the right shape in the case, and we can't see very well, so maybe this will just help a little bit. And we'll switch back once after we get this, just to get our look, basically. I want to shape it to that case as well as we can, though. Those are our limits, so we'd probably be over here more in the middle. So probably a little bit more like this. We wouldn't hit the motherboard, though. And a little bit like that. Something like that. Alright. Might be a little big, but shrink the whole thing. Alright, let's drag it out and do some work to it, maybe. smaller than our mouse. I think our mouse may be too big as well. I'm sure we could reportion this, all the stuff for on import especially. So, yeah, that is a little small actually. Alright. Just gonna make some like fin holes in it. So we're just gonna take the same shape and I'll try to punch out some other shapes. Maybe we'll duplicate it for we can keep using these. Quickly punch some holes out of it. We're gonna need a shape for the back too to do a power outlet out of the back of it. Probably need a power shaped plug on the front of this one. Something like this. A little thinner. When you like it, make it super long, move it down. I'm gonna go through both sides, give it fins through both sides, because we're really clever like that. Shift D. Shift D. Once in a while, maybe you want to cluster them a bit together in the middle or something. Give it a certain look. Up to you. Shift D. Shift D. Okay. Ah, we missed one, damn it. I'm gonna have to click all these first, so we got an extra one there. There we go. Let's give it some fins, give it a decent look. You can take out on the inside if you need to, but it's probably good enough. If you don't want those to be on the inside, since you just booled them, you should be able to just go delete faces, and it'll be hollow. I don't think I'm going to do that though. I'll just leave it like that. I think it looks pretty good. Good enough. So, let's make our power in the front. So, and we're Shift D because we can't use this without making a copy to use later. Shrink this side way down. Let's see, what shape would this be? This would be a bit of an oval. So let's try that. Stretch it while we do our shape, or it's a little easier to work with. Go to edges. Let's delete this. Oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry guys, we want to dissolve it. Okay. And then move this into the middle. Move this up a bit. And then we'll grab all three edges. Hard to get that one apparently. Okay. Control B. Something like that. Add some bevels. We'll look at it. If it looks pretty much what you want, I think that's going to be good enough for us guys. Something like that. Maybe a bit wider. Try to get more of that pluggy shape, but could drop some pins in there, but I think the hole just in there is going to be good enough. So I'm just going to go like that, probably. Bool it out of there. Objective difference. You can work on your shape a little better. I'm trying to give you an example real quick though, and I don't want to take too long. Alright, so that looks good. Let's move forward. Something like this. Okay. When you're almost a perfect square, Control B. Let me just think for this. Yeah. Okay. And then just do 4 sides. Control B. Round a perfect circle. Now we're going to S. So it's about the size of cables that you want to have coming out the back. Maybe you want a little bigger. Okay. Something like that probably make the most sense. You can Shift D it if you want one to be the representation of the start of the cables coming to the back. Probably not going to do that, but I'll just give you the example. Difference. Okay. And we'll probably use a Bezier thing there to do this piece for all the cables and stuff like that, but I just wanted to have something represent our box, our power box. We'll probably do that in the next video for I don't ramp on too long about this stuff. I did get a little prepared as you've seen this time, but maybe it's for the best. And we were able to put all this stuff together a little better. It's looking pretty good. Probably color the power box eventually. Probably do this. We'll Shift D it. Alright. And we'll just scoot one over here. In case you want to make a different version, you have the case then. You can just reuse it. And we're going to do the whole thing over here with our motherboard. We're going to keep reusing all the parts. Okay. So then we could take the GPU and all this different stuff, mix it in a different order, put it in a different way, and attach it to another motherboard, and our power supply, as long as the same power connection, still should plug in, making our game universal for we can switch from computer to computer as we're building them. You may want to start by positioning your two power outlets in the same spot, your GPU power outlets, and then positioning the rest of your stuff accordingly, and then due to your size of your motherboard. But I think you get the idea on how it works. I think we did pretty well here today. So also one last thing, if you're having issues with this, beveling this case, try, I should have mentioned this earlier, I'm very sorry. Try going L and just highlight all these faces, okay, on just this stuff, and then P and hit selection and separate them, and you won't have as many issues with the bevel or the bool, because this is gonna cause you issues if it's attached, so just make sure it's not while you're doing that stuff. When you're all done, you're sure your case isn't gonna need more holes or anything like that. Then you can go ahead and shoot. We may have to put in one more for this too. This is backwards to this side. We're going to have to put it. We're going to have to put a hole for the power outlet too. So maybe, let's just go back a little bit to before we cut the hole with the piece. How was it before this? Maybe it's fine. We'll just have to mimic the shape on the back. Sorry about that. We're just going to spin this on a 180 and put it through the back probably. Makes more sense. I think that's more traditionally how they go. A little mixed up there. We've done a lot. Let's see if this is correct. Yeah, you can do it like that. I'm not going to. And we're going to have to be very careful that we don't hit other stuff. Looks like we're going to hit these two power outlets. So we're going to have to move that probably a little bit. Or we can just shrink this a bit, probably. And do a skinnier one. I'm going to flip it anyways. 0. Maybe this one and 80. Yep, that was the one. Let's see if we can miss that outlet now. I think we did, guys. Perfect, okay? I think we're just missing everything. Yeah, we could probably squeeze a bit. Yeah, we can squeeze just a hair in there more. Just giving us more room. And it should be perfect enough, see, for we can start our power outlet. Might have to move it out in the open to be able to see enough to do it, but I think you get the idea. We're not hitting anything now, though. Alright, well I hope you guys had fun again today, and we're all set up for the final step, which will be the power connections, and that'll probably be the last video on this series. If you followed it this long, I appreciate all your likes, your watches, and your subscription, which I hope you have subscribed by now and liked, of course. And feel free to check out my game. It's available on Steam. It's called Fishton, Town to Remember. It's getting pretty popular. People seem to be really enjoying it, and I'm sure you will too if you want to check it out. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.